Radhe Radhe! Tuning in to do a couple more blog entries. Currently, I am in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I have a program coming up here this Sunday, and I'll put the poster along with the video here at the very front. If you're in the Chattanooga area, or if you'd just like to stop in and hang out and do some meditation and some kirtan music, please come by. That would be awesome. Other than that, after this, I will be moving to Knoxville. A week from now, I'll have an event there, and I will have it posted, and I'll put that poster up as well. So if you're in the Knoxville area and you'd like to stop by, that would be amazing. Feel free to do so. So here we go. Blog entry 173 from March 10th of 2025. So this is about a year ago again, and I was just a few months into traveling and trying to figure out how to do program and how to meet people and things like that. And I was just getting into Dallas, Texas. I was on my way there. Today I realized I've been struggling to keep my mind fully attached to Krishna. And it makes so much sense. Krishna seems to whisper, "You don't see me." Actually, he did whisper that. He would say, "I'm all around. I'm with you all the time." Reminding me that he is everywhere all around me. My heart and soul feel full, but my mind still has been somewhat unsettled. Living van life with its constant movement and shifting circumstances has made it difficult to maintain steady sadhana. I'm starting to realize the cost of not having steadiness in my mind and focus. Yet when I shift my vision and see everything as Krishna, it becomes easier for him to reach me. He follows his own divine principles through focus and training of the mind. He gently guides us, shaping us into who we are meant to be and what we are meant to do. So Krishna, he's amazing. So he's so compassionate and so patient. Even during this time, just beginning to travel around and have class and not really know how to connect with people, and still finding my way so many different ways in wearing saffron and traveling as a monk. Krishna would still be just so patient and still there, and just reminding me to, settle down and just be peaceful and relax and trust and feel him and let my mind gravitate more and more towards him. And he was so patient and supportive in that. It was amazing. So here we go. Blog entry 174 from March 12th of 2025. I'm feeling better these days, softer and softer within, as I sense myself growing closer and closer to Krishna. Each step feels like he is gently drawing me nearer, melting the harder edges of my heart. Here in Dallas, I've met a new friend, my first friend in Dallas. And Krishna seems to have arranged this connection. We're just spending our days together at his work, talking about Krishna, playing kirtan, and reading the Gita. There's something so nourishing about the simple moments of being in the company of someone who also loves Krishna. It reminds me that Satsanga, the association of devotees, is one of the greatest blessings on earth. When we sing together or open the pages of the Gita, I feel Krishna's presence more strongly, as if he is right there between us, smiling and listening. The conversations flow naturally toward him, and I notice how the heaviness of the world seems to fade away in that atmosphere. It is a glimpse of the spiritual world, where every word and every activity revolves around Krishna. I'm realizing more deeply that Krishna provides what is needed at the right time. Even in my wandering lifestyle, he arranges companionship, music, scripture, and reminders that I'm never truly alone. Each of these gifts make me feel softer, more peaceful, and more in love with Krishna every day. And so it really is incredible. As I travel and as I wander around, Krishna brings everything I need and more. And it's always there, and Krishna's always there in his supportive, loving way. So just like in Dallas, he had me meet my first friend in Dallas, and I would just spend time and hang out, and we would just do music and chat about Krishna. And then around that, I would have the time to meditate each day a lot and integrate more each day and get used to the different lifestyle of being a monk and being in that area. And it's incredible how Krishna brings what I need before I need it. And there's an interesting aspect of prayer and connecting and meditation. They often say, don't really ask Krishna or God for anything, because he already knows. And there's truth to that, very much. And he'll be bringing us what we need, and it'll be the best thing for us possible. And sometimes we can't really identify that right off the cuff. You're like, well, I need this, and it needs to look like this, and it needs to be like this. And the mind sets a certain expectation of how things should happen and should be. And then what's really interesting, though, is all of that is from our material perspective. Like the mind's material, the senses are material, and this experience is material. And so one of the greatest things my teacher said, one of the greatest pieces of advice, is don't hold on to anything as you're on your spiritual journey and as you're growing. And as you're growing closer to Krishna, he's going to take away all the things that you're not. And at first, it's going to seem like a lot, and it's going to seem hard, and it's going to seem heavy, and you're going to have these emotional responses because of the attachment to whatever that is in this lifetime. Attached to it being there, attached to it not being there. And you'll feel this giant, sometimes big, sometimes little waves as these things leave. But it makes space in your life for Krishna to bring to you the things that you, your soul, and who you truly are in the divine world want, and who you are. And it's a deeper sense of connection, and like the action and the acts are all pleasing Krishna, and that's the focus. But in reality, in giving and pleasing Krishna, God, you get more than you could ever imagine. And in creating that space and holding that space, it's a process, and it's really challenging. So if you try and you struggle and it's hard, and it's okay, because that's the path, right? That's the bhakti path. So you're growing your love, you're growing your connection, you're growing your relationship. And the things that you aren't in the divine start to fall away and drift away. And Radha and Krishna will start making more and more space in your life for them to be there with you more and more in your relationship with them, and your love with them, and your connection with them. And it's a beautiful process. But be patient with yourself, and take your time and feel it out. And to know it is difficult, and things will leave that you'll think you'll have to have, and you'll think are the most important things ever. And then they're gone after a few minutes, and that attachment is broken and it heals, and you don't miss the things that you could never imagine. Like you can't imagine not missing those things, but you just won't. And it's really profound. Yeah, it's a really profound experience and journey. So meditate on not holding on to anything. And again, that's not so much throw everything away and move to a mountaintop in a cave. It's about the attachment inside to things being there or not. So try and give yourself the space inside, and allowing yourself the space on your journey to grow closer and closer to Radha and Krishna. As much as you can, closer and closer to God, closer and closer to your divine self, and move into that place of yourself. Yeah, it's incredible and profound, and it's worth the journey. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Radhe Radhe. If you're in Chattanooga this weekend, please stop by a week from today on the 29th. Again, the poster's at the beginning of the video. It's on Eventbrite, and it's also on Meetup if you'd like to sign up there. And then if you can't make that, but you're in the Knoxville area, we'll be there 2 weeks from, I think, yesterday. Yeah, I'll put the poster on there as well. And it's also on Meetup and Eventbrite as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe.